I really hope you guys can't hear the fly just obsessively buzzing around my head in here. Hi, my name is Kelly. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today. I am going to be wrapping up everything I read in the second half of May. The first part of May, I did Montgomery May, and so I will put the link to the video where I talk about a lot of what I read in the first half of the month. But I did read a little bit about Ellen Montgomery in the second half of the month, and that would be House of Dreams by Liz Rosenberg. And this was such a beautifully written biography about Ellen Montgomery. The author really used a lot of her personal journal information and her quotes. And so you felt like Ellen Montgomery was really a part of telling the story, not just being told about, if that makes sense. I just loved hearing how her personal life really affected all of the stories that I've loved for so many years, and it was just really well done. I will warn you that it does delve into a lot of her mental health struggle, her husband's mental health struggle, and it deals with a lot of just, suffering and pain she's been through, not just the triumphs and happiness and just things going well with her writing. So I will warn you that it does talk about mental health quite a bit. She had a really rough time. So I'm putting that out there, but I think overall the book was so well done. I recommend it. Next, I read A Girl and Five Brave Horses by Sonora Carver. And I was a preteen girl in 1991 and just absolutely loved the movie Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. And this was the movie where there's a young girl who wants to dive horses off of a high tower, and she ends up, kind of getting into this career. The man who runs the show is a little persnickety and a little bit controlling, and there's a son involved where there's a little bit of a romance. And then Sonora, who it was the name of the girl in the real life book that I read about, she had a terrible accident, and I don't want to go any further, but A Girl and Five Brave Horses was the real book written by Sonora Carver. Such a wonderful story. Of course, the movie was so Disney-fied to death. The real story is there are harrowing tales in here about things that you wouldn't put in a movie, like scary accidents that are seen like in the circus life. But the story of Sonora herself and her bravery and what happens to her and how she just carries on, and how she talks about how she's not going to let this get her down. And hearing about the horses, if you're a horse lover, there are times where there are sad things and like horses pass away, not from diving, but just because horses pass away, just like dogs, cats, people do. But it's just, I thought it was an amazing story. I highly recommend this one as well. All right, next, my lovely, lovely friend Chrissy from Chrissy's Purple Library and I read Jamaica Inn by Daphne Du Maurier. I had not read this book before, but I had read Rebecca by Daphne Du Maurier. I've read it a few times and I love it. I don't know why it took me so long to read this. This was deliciously creepy. So the story of, we've got this young woman who has lived on a farm with her mom. They've been running the farm without the help of a man because the father has passed away. And the mother passes away, and so her deepest wish was that her daughter goes to her sister. Well, she writes the sister says, yeah, my husband says, come on. So she goes, and lo and behold, they live at this inn, and she finds out that people do not think this is a reputable place. And so a lot of the book is about what is going on. The uncle is horrible and creepy as all get out. And so we're finding out, unpacking what is going on at this inn. We don't know who we can trust at all. And then we kind of it's like Daphne Du Maurier wanted us to kind of figure it out a little bit. So we kind of know that there's somebody that's not so great, but we're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, how's she gonna figure this out? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So like, it was really well done, gothic, creepy, but relatively clean read still. So that's what I kind of like about these style books, is I like that gothic. I like things kind of dark, but I don't want it to go past a certain point. And that's what I like about Du Maurier's writing. All right, so the next thing that I finished was a River Enchanted, and this is by Rebecca Ross, and this is an adult fantasy, and it was absolutely beautiful. I loved this fantasy, and darn it, I, without meaning to, started another series. So this was part of the Court of Fables book club, and that is hosted by Bookish Jen. And it was such a good book. Oh my goodness. So we have a island, and there are spirits, and they deal in the, ground, they deal with the wind, and so like, I love, there's this aspect of the story that the wind gossips. So the wind can be not good if you're saying something you don't want the wind to carry and gossip on with, or it can, if you need help and you want your husband to come, then you be like, hey, come. So we've got this young man, he doesn't know who his father is. His mother sends him away when the head of their society is a laird, and he and his wife say, hey, we think he's going to be a great, musician for us someday, so go send him away. And the boy doesn't really understand that's why they're sending him away. He's like, they just want to get rid of me. So he goes and studies music, and then he gets summoned by the laird to come back. It's dangerous for him to even get there. Spirits are trying to like drag him down into the water, and he gets there, and come to find out, it wasn't the laird that summoned him. It was his daughter, the heiress, that summoned him. They're at war with people on the other side of the island in the west. They come, and there have been young girls that disappear. Well, he gets to his mother's house, and he has a huge surprise of something that has changed in her life that she has not bothered to write to her son about. So we're wondering, what are the mother's secrets? Why would she not tell him who the father is? There are just definitely things about him that are different. He has these abilities to compose music or to sing someone else's music and be able to make things happen. I don't want to spoil, so I'm trying not to tell too much. And then he's always not gotten along with the laird's daughter, the heiress of the East. And of course, they kind of have to connect and work together. So such poetic, lyrical, beautiful writing with such a creative concept. I highly recommend this one as well. So that is what I read in the month of May. The other thing that I'm always working on is reading the Bible chronologically. So I'll give you a quick update where I am. I am in 2nd Chronicles, which we're also getting a little dive here and there in Psalms and Proverbs, because we're on Solomon now. And we'll be diving into Song of Solomon soon. So I love reading the Bible chronologically and getting bits and pieces of, the other things that are happening in Scripture while you're in 2nd Chronicles, the Proverbs that are written while you're reading about what you are in Solomon. So love that. I hope you guys have a wonderful June and that you guys read a lot. Bye-bye.